Ladies and gentlemen, what is up, and welcome to today's video where we're going to be going over all of the best champions, in my opinion, for Marvel Contest of Champions 14.0. We have a revised version of the tier list with all the new characters, such as the Stark Enhanced Spider-Man. We got Carnage, we got Punisher, we got Nebula in this list finally. So yeah, it feels really good to kind of get an updated version. And one of the very cool things about this updated version, which a lot of people have been requesting, is stars next to the champions to basically indicate whether or not the champion relies on being awakened, which kind of brings me back to kind of the main point of this tier list. And it's really so that like newer players and progressing players, when you pull a new champion, if you're not super savvy with the entire roster of the game, which it does take quite a few months to get adjusted to that, it just gives you like a rough idea of how good certain characters are in comparison to the wider spectrum of the game. Every character has kind of matchups and scenarios where they excel, or they're maybe slightly better than other characters. So this is by no means a kind of definitive, like, these characters are always going to be better than all the other characters, but it's going to give you like a rough idea of how different characters kind of compare to each other in terms of their value, in terms of what they can do in the game. And also, as a bit of a disclaimer, this tier list is split into two parts. So we have the offense, which is a champion that you play, something in like Alliance Quest, Alliance War, General Questing, anytime you are piloting a champion. And then we also have a separate tab and separate ranking for Alliance War Defense, because there are some champions that are absolute ass to play, but when it comes to putting them as a defender, like, they're a really tricky or annoying champion to fight, so that makes them like quite good for Alliance War Defense. But yes, anyway, we're gonna start off talking about, you know, what I classify currently as the God tier champions in Marvel Contest of Champions. So at the moment, we have Star-Lord, we have Captain America World War II, we got Dr. Voodoo, Wolverine, Archangel, Gwenpool, Hyperion, Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, who is a very new addition to the contest. I think Spider-Man Stark Enhanced is a crazy good character, so much utility, has very, kind of below 100 combo, has very competitive damage with Star-Lord, which actually makes him a really good option as a 5-star for Labyrinth of Legends. We've already seen some very, very awesome gameplay there for some 5-star versions of Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, plus that auto-evade on the projectiles, and also like all sorts of weird stuff that he has, like the power drain on demand on the heavy, and also the taunt mechanic. Just so much of that combined just makes Spider-Man just such an incredibly great character at the moment. And yeah, aside from that, like, there are quite a few characters that I've actually moved into this tier just because they've excelled my expectations in the last few months, really, and that's kind of like Archangel. He's definitely made it up there, like a great champion for Alliance War Offense. We're seeing a lot of like 550 Archangels and ones at rank 3 and rank 4 as a 5-star. Actually, under the right circumstances, if you play extremely well at intercepting, be able to take down a magic in like a single try, and a really, really skilled player. So Archangel's kind of become a bit of a counter for that, and his damage is just absolute insanity. And if you don't believe in the power of Archangel yet, check out the video we did yesterday, which is a 3-star version versus the final Spider-Man in the Web Slinger Challenge. So crazy, crazy stuff. Then we also have Gwenpool, who I wanted to move up from Demi-god tier, just because, like, she really just outshines with the amount of utility and usage she has, just outshines superiorly, just like every other skill champion. So Gwenpool is main bay at the moment. Then we also got Hyperion, just an incredibly hard-hitting champion, very, very fun character to play. Iceman, the absolute immunities god, who can also counter evade and also cap the amount of damage he receives from like really hard-hitting attacks, but with his ice armor ability. And then also Scarlet Witch. I've kept Scarlet Witch in God tier because I believe like there are fights where you play Scarlet Witch and she's just absolute insanity. Like, you'll have so much damage, you'll have all of the stuff proccing, but she's not as reliable as she used to be. But still, because she's such a hard-hitting character, since she has the nullify, all of that utility, granted it's a little bit scaled down, she's still like an insane option for a lot of people that are looking to blitz through the larger majority of content in the game. So yeah, Scarlet Witch still definitely like has her pros in a lot of matchups and circumstances. So yeah, that's currently kind of the God tier lineup that we've got. And I believe quite strongly that, you know, these are by far some of the best champions in the game at the moment. And then we have the Demi-god tier. So these are champions that all do kind of something really, really cool or really, really helpful. And they're amazing, beyond amazing in their own regard, but aren't quite enough, or they lack something in comparison to one of the god tier champions. So in Demi-god tier, we have Wolverine X-23, who is kind of the more damaged version of Wolverine, but Wolverine's regeneration is just so insane that it's preferred in the majority of circumstances. Then you also have Rogue. She has regeneration, power steal, the ability to reduce debuff duration, and also is still the highest prestige mutant, so she's got that going for her. Deadpool Red Suit has incredible regeneration, but he's such a rare character. I don't even know why I include him in this tier list, because he hasn't been available in like a year and a half. But if you've got him, like, he's just a crazy good character to have anyway. Then you have Storm, just an insane amount of damage, and also the stun on her Special 1 and Special 2. Great Labyrinth option if you have as a 5-star. Psylocke, incredible for power control, very, very valuable champion there. Also reduces defensive ability accuracy if you can keep your opponent power locked, so that's interesting as well. Cable, a lot of utility, bit of regeneration. You have so much you can do on Cable, like you can bypass evade, you can reduce defensive ability accuracy, so he's got big going on for him. Then you got Crossbones, Black Widow, Elektra, some of the defensive ability accuracy reducers. Always kind of, it depends on the matchup and fight, but usually, like, when it comes to reducing defensive ability accuracy, one of 3 of these champions will work. But, you know, Archangel and Gwenpool, for a lot of circumstances, are rearing slightly ahead in my opinion. Then you have Daredevil Classic. If you do this dude awakened at dupe level 99, you just never have to worry about any projectiles. Just such a good champion for certain stuff when it comes to like Alliance Quest Map 6 and dealing with those potentially tricky unblockable nodes in Alliance War. Then you've also got Ghost Rider, absolute utility and regeneration beast. I love Ghost Rider so much. To me, kind of Ghost Rider is maybe god tier, but the only problem with Ghost Rider, in my opinion, is just his damage. Like, in kind of the longer fights, he's just such a wet noodle champion. But in those short, bursty fights, like, he's really, really great. I really do rate him for Alliance Quest, just as a juggernaut that could just keep on going on and on with his regeneration and deal with pretty much every circumstance of his utility set. And also bleed immunity. You've also got Guillotine, very hard-hitting champion, heal reversal, a lot better regeneration when she's awakened, but obviously doesn't rely on it. Dormammu, excellent power control mechanics, poison and bleed immunity, very useful champion. Then you've got Magic, just exceptional power control on a Special 2. Also you have Limbo, some fairly decent damage output as well, so Magic is certainly still, she's pretty damn good. She may be god tier to some people as well. I can see that, you know, with a lot of the Mystic champions, they just gain such a huge benefit if you like running the Mystic Dispersion Mastery in a lot of matchups as well. So sometimes they can be considered maybe god tier, but, you know, very, very close. Then we have hard-hitting cosmics, such as Thor and Drax. Now, I think the one thing I'm actually missing from this tier list, now I've just thought about it, I was like, where's Angela? Where is Angela? And I think I need to add Angela in there as well, because she is very much on the same tier as Thor and Drax. I think I completely missed out King Groot and Angela to this. So yeah, I might have to slip King Groot in kind of just after this. Just realizing this halfway through. Damn, this is so inconvenient. But yeah, I say Thor, Drax, and Angela, they're all very, very nice, hard-hitting cosmic champions. I'm actually probably going to put King Groot maybe in amazing tier. Yeah, I think so, because King Groot, he's got a lot of regeneration, he has the bleed immunity, but one of the problems with King Groot is he hits like a wet noodle, and he does rely on being awakened as well, whereas Angela doesn't, so let's add a star to him. On the fly editing, guys, so incredibly prepared there. But yeah, Thor, Drax, and Angela, really just exceptional hard-hitting cosmic champions, but they all do suffer the same problem of kind of being in the shadow of Hyperion there. Then in terms of science, we have Quake, Captain America, and Hulk, all very useful champions for Alliance Quest and Alliance War, really. Maybe not Hulk in Alliance War because of the Fury just fuels a lot of Mystic Dispersion, but Quake and Captain America are always decent options for that. And then we have both of the Visions, great for power control, also immunity, and also the heal block mechanic that they have. So yeah, just such awesome champions for that. Then you have Ultron, you've obviously got double immunity, you got some decent damage, and you also have the what is it, the regeneration on the 50 and 25% threshold, which is just so great for kind of continued gameplay in Alliance Quest. So really good stuff there. Then kind of speeding through the amazing tier list, we have Nightcrawler. Just it's really in the amazing tier list. It's champions that kind of lack utility, but they got something maybe good going on for them. So a lot of these champions mainly are just champions that hit really, really hard. Like Nightcrawler, Cyclops, Black Panther, Agent Venom, Symbiote Spider-Man, Iron Fist, Yellow Jacket. Yellow Jacket is a lot better for debate. He could maybe be promoted to the tier above. I think he's going to be one of the champions when it comes to my next revision. I'll be keeping a bit of an eye on, but I'd say he's still below these 3 champions, at least in my opinion. Then we got Karnak for his utility, Moon Knight for the damage and the stun, Beast for his utility, and also damage ain't too bad. Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel, good damage and champions, both poison immune. Magneto Classic, you've got the heal block and energy damage and fairly decent damage. Then you got Mordo, maybe not the best damage, but you have bit of regeneration, and if you stack the Fury, I guess his damage isn't too bad, but like it's still nowhere, not really in the leagues, at least in my opinion, as some of the God tier and Demi-god tier mystics in terms of offense. Doctor Strange, he's alright, he's got his utility in terms of like being able to counter spell stuff, regen, like his damage, like it's alright, it's just nowhere near what it used to be in my opinion. So you got Rocket Raccoon, decent damage, Black Bolt, decent damage and stun, Gambit, you've got the relatively okay damage, and you got the chain stun on the special one. Phoenix, mainly you take up for prestige, but she's not too bad if you can keep between like 5 to 10 stacks of Fury and just play her pretty well. Hawkeye is a beast mode for the power drain, very cool champion. I don't know if he'll ever make it up to Demi-god, maybe. I know there's a lot of Hawkeye love going around at the moment. Winter Soldier, Punisher, just great hard-hitting champions. The Hood, I'm a little bit tempted actually to bump Hood up to Demi-god tier. Kind of just having a little bit of a think about it. Because Hood, he has a lot of very interesting utility. I think we're going to do that right now, ladies and gentlemen. I think Hood, he is the tier above amazing. Just because he has so much utility. You know, he's got the Fate Seal on the Special 2. He's got the Preemptive Nullify. And he doesn't need to be awakened. Well, when he's awakened, he gets the Power Drain. But also, he can go invisible and have a 90% chance to evade projectiles, or for them to automatically miss. So yeah, that's certainly a big pro of it. And then in the good tier, we just have champions that you don't really want to play offensively. Like, some of them are alright, but there are better options in the entire spectrum of the game. So you got Red Hulk, Unstoppable Colossus, Spider-Man Classic, Venom Paul, Deadpool X-Force, Falcon, Daredevil Netflix, Howard the Duck, Kang, Superior Iron Man. These two aren't too bad if you're a super new player and you need that champion with like a big burst of regeneration. But you know, when you can get a champion like Wolverine who just keeps on going on and on and on, then a champion like this becomes maybe a little bit redundant. Civil Warrior, just a worse version of Vision in my opinion. For Jane Foster, pretty like very fun champion when you get the right RNG and the stun locks, but I think she's just overshadowed by like there being so many amazing Mystic champions. But she isn't too bad. Maybe For Jane Foster might belong in the amazing tier, but again, I'm very much open to input from subscribers on this. Then we have Magneto, Marvel Now, Venom, Old Man Logan, Spider-Gwen, because she's a little bit better now, Ronan, Miles Morales, Carnage, Electro, and then in the meh tier, the tier that you never really want to play, you got Loki, Rhino, Joe Fixit, She-Hulk, Colossus, Groot, Iron Patriot, Ant-Man, Hulkbuster, Abomination, Black Panther, Civil War, great for defense, on offense it's like a wet noodle. And then Luke Cage, War Machine, and Kamala Khan. So that is the offensive tier list. And then the defense tier list. So the Alliance War boss suggestions at the moment. Magic, Juggernaut, Spider-Man Classic, Nightcrawler, and Dormammu are kind of like all the very like MVP popular bosses for generally getting like as many kills as possible. So, and in terms of God tier defenders, we have Spider-Man Classic, Magic, Hyperion, Electro, Nightcrawler, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Mordo, Doctor Strange, Juggernaut, Dormammu, and Iceman. And kind of a note is with a lot of like the Mystic champions, they really do rely on being awakened, because Mystic Dispersion is just a huge pain in the ass to deal with when you're fighting attackers on Alliance War defense. So having that just makes all the Mystic champions like 3 times worse, and a lot of them they do kind of really rely on it to be like exceptional defenders for the most part. But like even Magic, Juggernaut, and Dormammu, they're good without it, but just having that just brings it to a whole new level of insanity. And then we have the amazing tier. So these are pretty good defenders. Again, Alliance War Defense, for the most part, it's kind of like trying to trick your opponent into thinking that they're going to fight somebody that they're not going to fight. So, you know, you just have to, like, counter what they believe they're going to fight. So, like, Abomination, if you can put Abomination on a node where somebody's bringing, like, a Dr. Voodoo, like Gwenpool, or maybe an Archangel, you are just going to absolutely decimate them. So it's very good placement there. Also, Agent Venom, he's always a bit of a pain to fight. Black Panther Civil War, Cable, Unstoppable Colossus, Yellow Jacket, Groot, Ultron. Hulk is very, very punishing if you mess up to Hulk. Maybe a little bit better in some of the earlier brackets, but I don't know. I know, like, I'm still a little bit scared to fight Hulk sometimes, because, you know, if you do mess up, you are dead. So yeah, Hulk can be a little bit intimidating. And then Rhino. Rhino's dropped down from God tier to amazing, because I feel like a lot of people have, like, dominated fighting Rhino at the moment. So I've moved him down a bit, but I think he's still good because he still catches a lot of people out occasionally. And then in the good tier, there are a load of champions that are like, if you really have nobody else to use, like, they sometimes, you know, they're a little bit tricky to fight. So I don't know why Red Hulk's there, actually. Like, he's pretty damn easy. Then you got Iron Patriot. Yeah, I'm going to move Red Hulk to the meta. I think he definitely belongs there. Damn, I can't believe I hadn't seen some of these changes earlier. Let's just quickly copy and paste that, bring it up. Okay, awesome. So yeah, on the good tier, you've got Iron Patriot, Iron Man, Storm, Scarlet Witch, Rogue, Gambit, Magneto, Cyclops, either one will do. Deadpool, X-Force potentially for the power gain, Superior Iron Man, Civil Warrior, Venom, Colossus, Moon Knight, Magneto, Marvel Now, Luke Cage, Symbiote, Spider-Man, 90s Cyclops, Black Widow, Crossbones, Kang, War Machine, Howard the Duck, Dr. Voodoo with Mystic Dispersion, Ant-Man, the Hood with Mystic Dispersion, Yondu, and then Spider-Man Stark Enhanced. Again, I don't really think, I feel like all of these champions here, if you're playing fairly well with most characters, you know, you've got a way to beat them if you're fairly on the ball. So I don't really recommend a lot of those. I'd suggest sticking in like the gold and amazing tier if you're looking for some you know, Alliance War defenders that are going to get you some kills. But yeah, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the updated tier list. Again, what you're seeing now, there might be some kind of more amendments, because like I'm always going back and forth on stuff on this, but I'm very interested to get some additional input from you guys, the subscribers, on where you place certain champions. Are there any you re-rank or move to a different tier? Apart from that, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed the updated tier list. Take care and have an absolutely fantastic day.